Welcome to Awaken, your soul's unlimited potential. My name is Eva, and today I'm actually continuing some insights that I started off in the last video where I was sharing about how you can start embodying new vibrational states of being. If you don't like the kind of vibration that you have right now or that is reflected back to you in your environment, you can actually change that for yourself by taking control of what you choose to listen to, what you choose to pay attention to, what you choose to be, and actually putting in the work so that you can embody new states of being. Okay, so in this video I want to share how you shifting your vibration can actually impact the people around you. Okay, so back to the analogy that I started off in the last video. I was talking about you being in a room with your own radio, listening to a radio station with the kind of music that you don't want to listen to, right? So you have the choice of actually shifting or changing the station and tapping into a frequency that has the music that you want to listen to. So embodying the states, the vibration that you want to embody going forward. So when you do that, okay, what happens to the environment around you? So assuming that in that room you were there with a friend, a loved one, listening to that original radio station that you didn't like. Maybe your friend enjoyed that radio station, right? Maybe they were listening and enjoying the music, but you own the radio, so you have control over what you want to listen to, right? You can choose, yes, to just let your friend be and continue listening to that old radio station, even though it was really putting you in a bad state of being, right? You can choose that. You have a choice to do that just so that you can maintain the friendship with this person. But once you make the choice to change the station, right, you cannot control now how your friend responds to you making that choice. Okay, so first of all, your friend cannot come and start imposing their will on you and making you go back to the radio station that you already tuned out of, because you own the radio, right? You are the owner, so you control whatever channel that you're going to listen to. Okay, so taking ownership of that, taking ownership of your world and the new state of being that you want to embody. So once you shift that vibration, the loved ones around you, they do not have the power to come and determine or make you go back to where you are. A lot of people get lost in that. They want to make their loved ones happy because their loved ones are so used to seeing them in these states. Their loved ones are so used to seeing them in the negative states of being when they're complaining, and maybe even the loved ones vibrate in that vibration. They love it when you come and gossip to them about certain work matters that really didn't set well with you. They love it when you come and complain about the state of the world. That's the vibration that you were enjoying when you guys were interacting before. But once you now make the choice to embody new states, right, of course your loved one is going to be affected, because remember, they're still in that old vibration. They're still listening to that old radio station. That's where they're still tuned in. So again, your loved one cannot make you go back to where you are. They do not have power over you because you own your new state. Okay, so how can your loved one react? So they'll realize that first of all, I can't make you do whatever I want you to do, so I'm gonna let you be. Okay, so they can choose to sit in the room with you and listen to this radio station that you've tuned into. Okay, and maybe they'll distract themselves doing something else. So maybe they'll start folding the clothes, they'll start cleaning up some things, and just tune out of listening to that new radio station and the new music that you're now playing. Okay, they have a choice to do that, meaning that you have to be okay with them not loving the new station that you're tuned into, and that could happen. So you could work on yourself and become the best version of yourself, but then you find that the environment around you, the loved ones around you, they're still holding on to your old identity. They want you to go back, but then they're like, okay, fine, we'll just continue existing with you as you are, but I don't really have to listen to you and anything that you're trying to tell me, right? Because the mistake that a lot of people do is that now, because they've tuned into a new frequency which is working so good for them, of course they want their loved ones to feel as good as they're feeling. Of course they want their loved ones to love the music that they're playing on this station. They want that. They want to see their loved ones happy. But what happens when their loved ones don't want to enjoy the kind of music that you listen to? You also have to realize that they also have power and free will in their own right, so they can choose to either listen or tune out of that, right? They have the choice and control over how they choose to react to your new state of being. So they can choose to listen to you and be like, okay, fine, I think what you're saying is making sense, so let me try whatever you're trying. Let me listen to that music that you've been playing, right? Or they can choose to not listen and just go about their life and maybe say that, you know what, once I go back home or once I'm in my room, I'm gonna go back to that radio station and continue listening to that music. They have power to do that, and you have to be in a state of letting them be where they are. Okay, not necessarily trying to impose your ideologies on them, because we're each on our paths, right? So love them and accept them as they are, and trust that at whatever point that they will be ready to tap into the vibration that you're in, they will make that choice and it will happen for them. But it doesn't maybe necessarily have to come from me, it could come through another avenue. So it doesn't necessarily have to be embodied. They don't have to listen to that station you're listening to. They could tune into a new frequency that has a better frequency, better music for them, but works perfectly for them and maybe not for you. Okay, so just love and accept them as they are. Okay, so that's the first way that they could react. The second way is that they could choose to walk away. They could get angry at you for changing the radio station. Maybe say that, you know what, I don't feel like listening to this radio station that you're listening to right now. I don't feel like listening to this music. I'm just gonna go away and do my things outside, right? So in that case, they'll leave the room and leave you. So in the real life world, in the real world, that will look like your friends walking away from you because they can't stand the new you. And you also have to be okay with that. A lot of people, once they start their journey, they're gonna end up losing a lot of people that vibrated in their old vibration, that resonated with their old state of being. You have to make peace with the fact that you will lose people along the way. That's just a part of the journey, especially if it's anyone who's not comfortable with the new you, or it's anyone who doesn't want to change per se. So hanging out with you might make them do that and they choose not to, and so they'll just leave you alone. So make peace with the fact that people can also walk away from you, and that's completely okay. You will lose some people, but guess what? Someone could be walking by the room and be like, whoa, that's really nice music. Let me get in and see what's going on. Meaning that you can also attract people who vibe with your new vibration, with your new state of being. So you will lose and gain in return. Okay, so never be scared of people walking away. Again, they have free will, free choice to do whatever they choose to do, and you have no control over that. But in the same way they walk away, some people who vibrate with your vibration, who align with your vibration, they'll find you and they'll sit down with you in the room and they'll enjoy the music with you. Okay, now the third way that your friend or your loved one could react is that they could actually sit down and choose to listen to the music with you. And somehow by listening to that music, they start enjoying it and they're like, oh, I get why you like this kind of music, okay? So in the real world, it will be someone who loves the new you. They see the changes, all the growth that you've gone through since you started changing or shifting your vibration, right? They've seen all the work you've put into that and they want that for themselves. So they'll sit there with you and want to learn from you. Meaning that the new vibration that you're in right now is actually starting to change their own state of being, right? Just by being in your presence. And that's the kind of effect that you have, that they'll get inspired by the new you just from watching you and how you show up in the world. Meaning, again, it's not necessarily you having to do anything on the outside and actually taking action to change their perspective and change their views of the world. No, it's them getting inspired and saying, like, you know what, I actually like the kind of music you're listening to. I actually like the new states that you embody. How can I do that? How can I be like you, right? How can I enjoy this new state of being the way you're enjoying it, right? Those are the kind of questions that will be going through in their mind. And they'll start acting like you. So that's the kind of effect that you have on the people around you whenever you're shifting your vibration. And this is where a lot of the teachers go down to, like, if you want to change the world, you always have to start with yourself. Again, it will always start and end with you. So you cannot shift your vibration if, first of all, you're not willing to put the work to actually do that for yourself, right? Because again, the universe or the world responds back to you based on what you put into it. So if you put in the work and say, you know what, I'm tired of feeling this negative vibes, I want to tap into high vibes, the universe will say, okay, So you'll start doing the work, and all of a sudden you'll find yourself attracting the new things that embody the higher states of being, right? And number two, you have to be okay with just letting people be where they are. They don't have to go along with you through your journey. They don't have to do that. And you have to let people be where they are. Don't ever assume. I always think it's a bit arrogant for someone to make a choice that you need this kind of help. I mean, how do you know that they need that kind of help? You don't know. You're not with them. You don't know if they're going through, if they actually feel uncomfortable in their state of being. You're just making that choice because you're assuming because you felt uncomfortable, it must feel uncomfortable too, and that's not always the case. Some people actually enjoy being in those negative states. It's normally doesn't end well for them, but that is what is comfortable for them, right? And that whatever choice, whatever point that they decide that what, enough is enough, the same way that you did, then they'll be able to shift into higher states of being the same way that you were able to do that for yourself. So trust people on their own journeys, and trust that everyone will figure it out at their own moment, at their own appointed time. Okay? But you continue doing you continue being you, and just by being you can actually inspire that change much faster for them. Okay, so I hope you resonate with everything that I've shared in this video. Make sure you check out the previous video if you haven't checked it out. I'll leave a link to it at the end of this video. And thank you so much for tuning in thus far. Make sure that you subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet subscribed, and also click on the notification bell that's next to the subscribe button so that you don't miss out on any content I share out on a weekly basis. And to say thank you so much for tuning into my channel, for subscribing to my channel, for watching my video thus far. Make sure that you get access to my new powerful quantum flow meditation that is designed to help you embody these new states of higher being, right? So if probably you struggle with stress, with anxiety, with frustration, with all this negative emotions that people face on a day-to-day basis, and maybe you feel so overwhelmed with everything, right? The best way to do this is, first of all, by reconnecting with yourself and shifting out of these states, right? Everything that I talked about in this video, in the previous video. And this meditation is designed to do that, to help you access higher states of being in just a couple of minutes. So if you want to feel the vibrations of calmness, of serenity, of blissful existence, right? You can actually do that in just a couple of minutes with this powerful quantum flow meditation. So if you're curious about this, make sure you check out the link down below in the description box and register to get your free download, right? And the next thing I want to share is that I do help people in tapping into their higher states of being. I do work with two modalities, one of which is quantum flow, which is where the meditation is based on. So quantum flow is all about rewiring yourself on a physical level, right? A lot of our past trauma, a lot of our emotional wounds are all stuck in our nervous system, right? So a lot of people are always getting triggered by their past over and over again, regardless of whether they have the same set of circumstances that they were in when that trigger initially happened, when that trauma originally happened, regardless of whether you're in that trauma or not, right? So sometimes you'll find yourself attracting the same kind of situation that have a vibrational match to the previous trauma that you experienced, and that will keep on occurring over and over again. And for some people, they'll assume that, okay, I'm just gonna meditate, I'm just gonna do this, I'm gonna journal, and maybe I'll be able to get out of this vibration. And sure, that can work for some people, but for these people, you'll find that sometimes they'll still go back to their past selves, right? Because they haven't really released the trauma from a physical level, from their body where it's actually stored. And your nervous system actually has a recording of this. So with quantum flow, we actually target your nervous system and get to rewire, clear all these blockages that are in your system, and get the energy flowing again. You are made of 99.99% energy. So if there's a part of you that is stuck in that old energy, right, you'll find that it actually affects different areas of your life. So once you do quantum flow, you'll be actually able to tap into higher states of being in your physical, mental, emotional, spiritual well-being. You'll actually be able to channel, listen to your higher guidance, tap into your true soul's purpose, true soul's path, just by connecting to your divine guidance, which cannot happen as long as your channels are blocked. So quantum flow actually does rewire that for you, gets the energy flowing again so that you can again tap into higher states of being. So if you're curious about this, you can book a session with me down below in the description box, or if you have more questions, book a discovery call with me, or ask me any question, connect with me on Facebook or Instagram, and I will always be more than happy to respond to you. The second modality I work with is called soul realignment. So soul realignment is all about working with the Akashic records and getting to the core identity of who you were created to be. So you do know that you are a spiritual being living a physical experience, right? So it's soul realignment. We actually get to the true identity of your soul. Who are you created to be? What unique gifts were you assigned that you were supposed to leverage to create a better human experience for yourself? A lot of people have forgotten who they are based on the conditioning of society, based on the conditioning of their family and the environment they are in, and also based on their own lifestyle choices, right? So a lot of people are actually going against and not living according to who they are at soul level, and that creates a lot of dysfunction in their external reality. So if at all you're tired of all these negative experiences that you've been attracting, if you feel disconnected from yourself, from life, there's a reason behind that, and you can discover that with the soul realignment reading. You can also actually get to discover your soul story. You get to go back to a particular past life that you started making negative choices that you're still making right now. A lot of people repeat the same mistakes over and over again because they have no awareness of what those mistakes are. So with soul realignment, you actually get to the root cause of those choices that you made, that you're still making right now, and with that awareness, you now get to take control over the life that you're creating right now by making better choices, because you will not be repeating the same mistakes of the past. And the best thing is that you get to clear all these negative karmic patterns from your blueprint, so that now going forward, the energy and the kind of experiences that you're attracting are based on the new vibration that you're sending out, no longer influenced by the past life choices, the present life choices that you've been making in this current reality. So if you're curious about that, you can book a session with me down below in the description box. If you have more questions, connect with me Facebook, Instagram, or book a discovery call. I'm always happy to answer. Thank you so much for tuning into my channel, and I hope I will see you on the next video. Bye for now.